easy, but it's just, I got an amazing support system. I've always had it. Both my parents, my family, my close friends. I got a good girlfriend, supporting me. So I've always been family oriented, and the people around me, like for instance, my friends from back home are friends with my friends from college. My friends from Holy Cross are friends with my friends from Wyoming. And kind of have a close knit group. So I kind of lean on them in times of high stress.
Y'all, welcome back to the CVMK Show, because I'm your host, Mr. CVMK himself, Cody Marshall Kelly. If you know, because it is what it is on this show. Look, I'm excited about this episode. I mean, I'm excited about all my episodes, but this one in particular, because we have a true talent, somebody who has made it to the NFL, somebody who is doing big things, gonna do greater things, and I'm just ecstatic to have him on. But before we begin that, you guys have been amazing. You guys have been fabulous. You guys are the reason why we do this. But I need you to keep doing this, keep watching, keep subscribing, keep commenting. Go to YouTube, one word, 4 letters, CVMK. Go to it is what it is _show on the ground. And then where our supplements are, y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. And if you want some of these nifty glasses like I have on right now, shout out to Firmu, who sponsors this podcast, one of the sponsors. Go to the link below. But look, we're going to get into it. We have an amazing episode. Super just, I got questions because I want to know what it's like to be in the NFL. I want to know what it's like to line up across somebody that wants to knock your head off. And we're going to get into it on the CVMK Show after a word. Well, really just this break. We'll be back. Ayir, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I am blessed, and I'm not saying that in a corny way. I mean that. I feel great. The weather's changing, so I don't know if it's my allergies or whatever, but I live in Chicago. We're going from basically summer to winter in a matter of days, and my body's trying to adjust. But super excited, man, to have you on the show. I'm super excited for you to be here. Thank you so much, honestly, for real. But I don't want to go here, man. Played college ball in Wyoming, right? Sure. I was going over some of the particulars before. Made it second team All Patriot League in 2021. Signed a free agent deal with the New York Giants. College stats: 117 receptions, 1,718 yards, 16 TDs. And something that stood out, and I want to cover here, scouting report, right, is basically a report from a bunch of people that can never do what you do physically, but they can pay the big bucks to, evaluate talent, right? They said you're dynamic. That's how it starts off. Dynamic slot wide receiver. But then the second part said needs to improve in route running. So let's start here, man. Look, criticism, evaluations is one thing, especially when you feel like it's genuine. What do you like? How do you respond when you read a scouting report? You be like, "This isn't me," or how do you respond to that, man?
I mean, when you enter the process of declaring for the draft, trying to go from college to the NFL, you understand that like every and anything that you put out there will be critiqued, and you just kind of gotta understand that and look at it through a constructive point of view. Like, I mean, when I first saw that, your first knee-jerk reaction is like, what? Like, I can run routes, and everything like that. But just use it as motivation. Like, all right, maybe I gotta show I can run routes better, or just because at the end of the day, right, you do 10,000 hours of practicing stuff, and you're training all summer, you have camp, and you practice all through the week, but the people only get to see those 60 reps, during the game. You know what I mean? So they don't know what we're doing or what the game plan is. You know, you might run the same route 10 times, and now you're trying to the first 4 or 5 times, you're open, like it works, and then now the DB starts to understand, okay, this is what he's doing, this is how he's setting it up or whatever. So I mean, I don't take any of that stuff personally. Like you said, it's their job to try to find stuff and try to a large part of their job is trying to project, see what it looks like and see what it would look like in the NFL. And I think that's a really hard job. It's not like it's a 1-for-1. If someone does great in college and they do great in the NFL, if someone doesn't do great in college, they won't do great in the NFL. It's never like that. And, there's scheme, there's fit, and there's just a whole bunch of things that go into it. But, yeah, it's kind of funny. You always gotta, I always find strength in like laughing at myself and stuff like that, and being, I'm always my biggest critique. So there's nothing that would really ever hurt my feelings. But, that's how I look at it.
So for you, you found your calling early in life, right?
Yeah.
Most people would dream to play professional anything, and you've done it. I'm in my mid-30s, and I'm just now understanding what my purpose is, right? Like, when did it set in for you, man? Like, this was going to be me 24/7. I'm called to do this.
Well, I just feel like I'm one of the fortunate ones where like the passion and like that dream job that I had as a child is kind of just still what I'm doing. I feel like a lot of people, unfortunately, like it's not always like that, right? Like everyone when they're growing up wanted to be a doctor or an astronaut or whatever. And then at some point it's like, maybe that's not what I want to do, or maybe that's not realistic or whatever. But, for me each year as I went, just being able to have a successful high school career and then, be able to pick up scholarship offers and, then go to the collegiate level and, still continue to have success and make plays. And then I, did my last year at Wyoming and, getting on the big stage, playing against some really big schools and, just continuing to grow and make plays and, follow the dream. It just, each year I play football, kind of reaffirmed those dreams, and it just felt right. I got my degree from the College of the Holy Cross and everything like that. So like after that, after my junior year, I kind of made that decision that, I was going to get I always knew I was going to get my degree, but once I was confident, and fine with, all right, I got my degree and I can just kind of go, all in and, chase the dream. That's kind of when it hit. But, really like when the whole thing of like, all right, like I can really do this NFL stuff was kind of after freshman year and, having success and, making a lot of plays as a young dude out there. Like, I'm like, okay, I got 3 more years of this, I already feel super comfortable and everything like that. So if I could just, sharpen up a couple things, get stronger here, and make some more plays and stuff like that, staying consistent. I was pretty confident in my ability to make it to the next level. So, I'm just really fortunate. Like I said, I have friends that, stopped playing at the high school level or, stopped playing, some point in college. And, it can be tough to go and kind of have to pivot, something that you've been doing since you're 6, summer football, training, lifting, run, all that summer program right into camp. And then you're playing through December, sometimes early January, whatever. And then, it's just that whole process is kind of just ingrained into you, and that's what you do every year. Right. But, yeah, I know for some of them, the transition has been tough, but, especially a lot of kids from Holy Cross, it's been smooth, but, I'm just fortunate to not have to do that. I'm still chasing that same dream.
Cool. So that tough part, I think discipline is what separates those that can to those that will, right? How have you tried to, because that's a lot of transition. You jump in level to level to level to maintain that same commitment. Like I'm sure you've had to give up something, like even if it's just Call of Duty, like, and I know that sounds so funny, man, but like, so I got a group of friends. I hope they don't mind me saying this. They love playing Call of Duty. I'm not putting them out there. but they love playing Call of Duty. They always play Call of Duty. And it's like, I would have to give up this to do that. And even though I love them, I like this better. Right? Like, you know, like how for you, man, what has that sacrifice been like that maybe it just doesn't go unsaid or doesn't, even said at all?
Yeah, I mean, so it really started for me when like going to high school. So I'm from Franklin Township, New Jersey, which is like pretty much central Jersey, right by New Brunswick, right by Rutgers University. But I went to high school in Jersey City, right across the Hudson River from New York City. So about a 45-minute to 50-minute drive. And my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't have couldn't drive, so I had to take a train. So I had to take New Jersey Transit from New Brunswick to Newark Penn Station, and then take a path subway pretty much from Newark to Jersey City, and then walk about 8 blocks to school. And that's to and from school every day. So just doing that at the age of 14, was a sacrifice. Going to an all boys school was a sacrifice. Going, putting on a uniform every day was a sacrifice. All that type of stuff. But doing it at that young age and understanding what we were doing in just becoming men, leaders, just good people. And at that time, good football players. Yeah. It was all worth it. And just to see the work that we would put in, and then, the players that we would put out. I think in my class, we had 12 kids go play Division I football. And the year before it was like 16, so it's a football factory, but just also a creator of good men, good dudes, people who are going to go and become, good fathers, good leaders, and, just due to make differences in people's lives, right? That was a big thing for us. We're the only Jesuit, not a Catholic high school, but a Jesuit high school, the only Jesuit high school in New Jersey. And a big thing for us was, our motto was "Men for Others." So we kind of put that in everything that we did. On the field, off the field, in the classroom. We had fundraising events, and we were trying to compete with other schools. Xavier in New York, we were competing with them, trying to raise the most money. I forget, it was each year it was for a different charity, and whoever raised the most money got the Monday after the Super Bowl off. So is that type of stuff, putting competition, and it was just that experience for me, understanding, kind of helped my understanding of sacrifice. And if they always say, like, if it's worth it, it's usually not easy, and if it's easy, it's not worth it. So I just feel like learning that type of stuff early and getting that perspective on life early, kind of changed my life. And it makes all that stuff easy. A lot of the stuff that people think is hard, I consider, easy usually. And by that, I can also point to my coaches. I've had, a bunch of great coaches, a bunch of great men, a bunch of great leaders that, I've had the ability to be coached by, and learn from. Coach Chesney, my head coach at the College of Holy Cross. He's now the head coach down in JMU, doing great things down there. They're undefeated. He's just a great leader of men. And like you said something that sounded kind of similar to what he would say. He said, we'd always take on the mentality of, you don't have to do stuff, you get to do stuff.
True. Right.
So, I mean, if you take that perspective, right, every time it's like, I gotta do this. It's like, nah, I get to do this. Right. And, it's even carried me to where I am right now. And we'll get into it a little bit later, but just having that privilege, having the privilege of pressure, what I mean? Like, it's a privilege to be counted on. It's a privilege to have all that weight on you and everything like that. So, just embracing it, it's that's kind of what, I'm all about. That's to answer your question, that's kind of how I got to where I am with that type of stuff.
I like it. I know we're going to cut to a break, but I definitely, when we get back, we're going to talk about the privilege of pressure. But shout out to Jesuit schools. I went to Loyola, so I went to Jesuit college. So shout out to the Jesuit school. But look, when we return from this quick break from our sponsor, we're going to talk about the privilege of pressure, because it is a privilege to have stress.
Yeah.
Somewhat. After we return for this quick break.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
Y'all, it's going down. Best supplements in the world. You know why? Because I'm the one who started and founded the company, or co-founded the company. So www.cmk&x.store. Connect with us on the gram, cmk_global. All and any and all of your supplements. www.cmk&x.store. So I got good news this week. You know, our brand CVMK, the supplement line, got approved to be sold through Walmart distributor through their online marketplace, which is pretty cool. I was like, man, I've been working on this for a while, right? And
Congrats,
so thanks, appreciate it, man. And trying to get it into the stores next.
Yep.
And I thought like, you know, not that I was doing it for an applause, but I just thought I would get a little bit more, you know, from familiar settings, you know, for familiar people, you know. But I don't think they realize what it took to get to this point, right? It wasn't just slapping a label on something, you know. And then you mentioned something that I really want to dig into, the privilege of pressure, because it is a privilege as long as you don't allow it to cave you in.
Yeah.
You know, you have done something that 99.9% of people will never do. You have made it to a level that people are still trying to make it to. I played NCAA 2025 last week at my brother-in-law's place, and I just created a player hoping that he would get, you know, drafted, right? Yeah. You are living the life of a created player. But there's also that pressure because, like I brought up earlier, as much as you would think that there's good intentions, you know, everybody might not be as happy for a year as they should be, as they need to be. And maybe, I'm not saying that anybody's ever, you know, wishing ill. I like to think that there's good in everybody, that nobody would actually do that. But sometimes not supporting is like doing that in a very sly way, right? For you, man, how have you handled the pressure of being on this level?
You know, again, it's one of those things where it's just, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's just, you know, I got an amazing support system. You know, I've always had it. You know, both my parents, my family, you know, my close friends, you know, I got a good girlfriend, you know, supporting me. So I've always been family oriented, and you know, the people around me, like, for instance, my friends from back home are friends with my friends from college. You know, my friends from Holy Cross are friends with my friends from Wyoming, you know, and, you know, kind of have a close-knit group, you know. So, you know, I kind of lean on them in times of, you know, high stress and stuff like that. But then again, you know, I got friends that are working, you know what I mean? You know, I got family members that are working, and again, I told you, I'm still chasing a dream. You know, like you said, I'm like you just said it. I mean, I'm living a created life, right? Like it's not normal. So again, of course, it's just perspective at the end of the day, right? There's always going to be positives and negatives, right? Every day, you know, in the NFL, you can sit there and be like, I can be cut at any moment. You know, what about this? If I mess up this, and, you know, and you can kind of miss the blessing that you're living in, right? You got to just stay present and understand that, you know, again, everyone is living their life, right? And you know, everything is going on. So, like, I never really felt too, like, I never felt entitled for, like, for people to go and reach out to me or anything like that. I reach out to people, you know, check up on them and, you know, support them. Cause again, you know, for football, it's easy, man. You know, on a game day, you get 100 texts, and you know, people posting you on social media and stuff like that, and you feel the love that way. And you know, you'll get a call from, you know, your Pop Warner coach who you haven't talked to in years, but he's followed you your whole way up and everything like that. So you never really know how far your reach is going, and you know, you don't really know how many eyes are on you, or you know, how people are keeping up with you and stuff like that. So, and I never take any of that stuff to heart. You know, I always, and you know, I mean, when I do feel any of that stuff, it's more in the positive way. Like I said, like you don't know what little kid is looking up to me, you know, and feeling inspired, or you know, whose story I'm helping by doing what I'm doing. You know, it's never really the negative. I don't really focus on that type of stuff, just because, like you said, you can't control it. You know, it is what it is at that point. But you know, man, you just can't undermine the fact that I'm living a dream, right? And it's that, like you said, man, you have, like you said, your product just got approved. Like, you know how many people didn't even get to that point? And like you said, you're trying to get it in the store. You know how many people are never going to get to that point? Yeah. And, you know, like you said, you're doing something that you want to do, right? And a lot of people don't get that, right? A lot of people work, you know, from the beginning of the day all the way to the end of the day, you know, and trying to, you know, support their family and stuff like that. So we're, you know, just trying their hardest to make ends meet, and never really knowing, you know, when they're going to be able to not do that anymore. Whereas, you know, we're in a position where we're privileged, right? And sometimes it's easy to overlook that stuff, you know, but you always got to think big picture, man. Right? I mean, it's just like we are truly blessed, and you know, that's why anytime I get to give back, or you know, make someone's day, or you get to, you know, be a part of someone else's experience, someone else's story, you know, you just can't pass up on that stuff. You know, you gotta stay in the present. You know, that's kind of how I think about it. But
Malcolm here, back for another workout with CVMK. We got our choices here today for a good chest day. Between the Warrior Thirst and the Mandalay, we'll do the Warrior Thirst today. You'll turn it up a little bit. If you don't dry scoop it, do it really work? Do you really absorb it? Do you really use it? After this crazy ass chest workout, that Warrior Thirst really bring the monster out of you, but you gotta recover. And I usually do my recovery with the way.
No, I agree. I like it. So that moment, I want to go back. So when you first get signed, what was that feeling like? Like, I'm trying to think, like in oh god, what's that movie with Will Smith when he's like, he plays somebody poor and then he becomes like rich at the end? Was that like he just see it do like, yeah, he see it do like this, and that's the only thing that popped in my mind, you know, like I'm gonna get there. I've had good moments, but I mean that like that I've made it moment, like I'm still kind of searching, right? So
nah, you ain't, at least for me, like the way I think about that, like, man, you ain't, like, I'm never gonna get to that.
Okay.
And purposely.
Okay.
Oh, did I go out for
you're good. You're good. Yeah, you were breaking up.
Okay, good. But I was gonna say, like, my thing is, and from talking to people who, you know, because I've been blessed to be able to be around some people that, you know, are pretty successful in their, you know, their damn.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wi-Fi keeps going in and out.
Man,
hopefully we're good. But
hey,
what I was trying to say was,
it's pre-recorded. Look, whatever we mess up on, I'm gonna delete.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so just basically, like, I've been blessed to be around some people that, you know, have been successful in their, you know, avenues or whatever. So, from talking to them, I'm wondering like, okay, like, kind of had that same question because, that's the story that we all see, right? Like, you grind, you get to this moment, it's like, oh, I did it. But, the great ones and the guys, well, just the people that like are so successful and, the stories that we hear about are these people that never really get to that moment. Like you said, like I got signed and it's like, okay, I got work to do.
Yeah.
I'm not like, now I'm here and, it's just what's next. Like, all right, like how am I, again, like you said, like I was able to, I went from high school to college, went to a different college. And then now, I declare for the draft. And then now I'm in the NFL. Like, it's just a journey. But that's why I always say you got to trust the process and you got to, find love in the process. Like you said, you love what you're doing right now. Like I love what I'm doing every day. Right. And, I was recently released from the Giants, but like, I still love what I do every day. I still love the fact that I'm chasing, the same dream and, it's trials and tribulations and everything like that. But that's what makes everything so sweet, right? If you were just given everything, if you just created your product and it goes in, and you're like, obviously you feel like, all right, like, you just became a millionaire overnight. You're like, all right, this is a great success, but I'm telling you, it just wouldn't feel as good. Like, it's just, that's when, now obviously you're going to have those wins. And like, for instance, when I signed, yeah, it felt amazing, right? Like I felt super validated and everything like that, but I definitely never felt like I made it. And I'm telling you, like, I'm one of those people where like, and I've been trying to work on it. Like in the moment, I never really feel like I don't feel it. And then I'll look back and be like, all right, you know what? That was pretty cool. Like we were able to do some pretty great things here or whatever. And, just reflecting and stuff like that. But in the moment, I'm just strictly on, getting stuff done and how can we be better, right? Every time, you can go and have 300 yards, 3 touchdowns and everything. It's like, all right, well, I missed this opportunity. I could have had 4 touchdowns. I could have 400 yards. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And obviously not trying to be pessimistic or anything like that. But I told you, if you're your biggest critic, you're always going to put out the best product, in my opinion.
True.
So, but I mean, definitely felt great. I was with, I didn't have a draft day party or anything like that, but I had, 2 of my closest friends with me. One flew in from Atlanta, one flew in from Indianapolis. My mom and dad, sister, and my grandma, and we just sat and watched the draft, and sat there as the calls started coming in from different teams and talking to the agent, and and then finally got everything squared away and got signed, and it just felt like a huge weight off my shoulders because then now how important direction is, right? When you're sitting there, you don't know, all right, am I packing up trying to go fly out to Seattle? Do I gotta figure out how to ship my car to this place or whatever? Go across the country. Like I just did that with Wyoming and everything. So it was a big relief to be like, all right, I'm at home. You know what I mean? I'm 45 minutes from the house. So that was just a really, really, really good feeling. And I definitely felt good and enjoyed that for about 24 to probably 48 hours. Just sat in that moment, but I was ready to get to work.
I like it. Look, I know we're running out of time, but I want to hit you with a couple more questions before we cut the break. Though I do want to ask you this. Yeah. I was watching a video clip of Brett Favre. I think he was testifying before Congress, and he talked about that now he has Parkinson's disease. Right? He said, I had over 1,000 concussions in my NFL career, and basically it has created this neurological disorder. Do you fear, because football is a contact sport, and you don't get hit as much as a quarterback, but anything can happen in the field. Does that thought ever run across your mind of some unwanted action? I
mean, anytime you step on that field, there's an assumed risk.
Okay.
I feel like, again, being the athlete that I am and like the competitor that I am, you don't really go into any competition thinking about what could go wrong, right? That stuff is, what'll keep you up at night. It's always about what could go right, and how to make that stuff happen. So, if you're out there thinking about concussions or any other, like at any moment, man, you could roll your ankle going down the stairs, right? Or you could,
yes.
You could slip, and that stuff happens to everyday people. So,
right.
No, I don't. try to protect myself as best as possible. And, and I feel like the game has been, going in a direction where, they're trying to keep players as safe as possible. And they take that type of stuff super serious just because of, stories like, a player like Brett Favre coming out and saying something like that. But, I mean, I don't really, not right now, I've never actually had a concussion in my football career. I've been, fortunate. I know not everyone's like that, but, it's not something I think about currently.
All right, cool. Yo, check it out. I found some new sunglasses, changing the game. I'm telling you, you got to take a look at this. By Firmoo. The name threw me off at first, not gonna lie. But looking at it, this is a game changer. These glasses made my IQ go up 50 points. Cool. Well, look, we're going to cut to a break. When we return, I want to get into what's next, because every great leader, every great person, they always are working on something because they have another kind of vision in mind. After we return with Ayir Asante, we're going to talk about what's next for him.
I literally just tried the best pre-workout on the planet. With Superpower pre-workout, you have increased focus and a power boost every single time you work out. It's not only packed with 225 milligrams of caffeine, but it also has citrulline and creatine. It's insane how much energy and focus I had during my workouts. If you're ready to take your workouts to the next level, then ditch your current pre-workout and get the Superpower pre-workout to be your own hero.
Y'all, www.cmk&x.store. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. I would be going to the gym today, but it's Wednesdays and this is my rest day. So www.cmk&x.store. Superpower, I'm telling you, game changer. Get it today. So, what's next? My uncle, I actually spoke to him today. He called me to, just congratulate me and everything. And but he always had a saying. He said, Cody, he said, the next thing is the next thing. Right. And when he used to say it to me when I was younger, I was like, why does he keep telling me this? Obviously the next thing is the next thing. But the older I get, I realize, like, and you've mentioned it, you can only stay in the moment for so long. Eventually it just dissipates, right? Like, you have to, once you've accomplished this, whatever, you have to get to the next level. There's another door, there's another window, there's another atmosphere, there's just another doing that you have to, go through and conquer and obtain. And what I've learned, or what I am learning, is that people that always understand that, how to appreciate the moment, how to cherish it, how to give back, how to be selfless in it, and yet stay hungry, are the ones that really go far. For you, sir, what is next in Ayir's life?
Yeah, well, like you said, it's all about what's next. And what's next for me is I'm still chasing this dream. I'm still healthy, still young, still very capable. And I like I said, I've been released by the Giants, but I'm still talking to teams, including the Giants, and just trying to figure out my way back to the NFL. Working out for teams, trying to see if I can, get on the team's practice squad or get on their roster. Just doing what I got to do, and enjoying the process throughout this whole thing. It's a journey, not being drafted and stuff like that. It's kind of a different journey for you when you're, an undrafted free agent. You kind of, it's a grind, but, the way I look at it, it's ultimately worth it. And it's what I've always wanted to do. It's what I've been built to do. And but in this time, without having the rigorous football schedule, being with the team right now and everything like that, I'm exploring other stuff that I usually wouldn't, trying to optimize this time, leaning into different interests of mine. Trying to work with certain people and set up certain things, just because, at the end of the day, football isn't forever. So, yeah, I'm going to, take it as far as I can take it. And, I got a lot more to go, I got a lot more in the tank for sure. But, just maximizing this time on and off the field.
I like it. Look, come to the Bears, because after last week's dreadful performance against the Minnesota Vikings, look, man, we need you. We need And if you can do any type of pass blocking on top of route running, that'll really help. Because right now, all our O-line need to be fired. Oh man, it has been an absolute pleasure, my brother, man. Where can the people connect with you? Where can they follow your story? Where can they engage with you?
You know, on Instagram and Twitter, you know, my usernames are just my name, Ayir Asante, AYIRASANTE. You know, people DM me, especially on Instagram. You know, they DM me and stuff like that, reach out to me, and you know, I always try to get back to everyone. Just because you never know. You know, one message or you know one conversation or whatever it ends up blossoming into you never know how that can affect someone and you know influence someone or you know help somebody else. So you know it takes 15 seconds out of my day, but you know it can mean a lot. So yeah, I'm on there. You know, so you know feel free to reach out.
Yo, connect with him. Hit him up in the DMs. Ayir Asante, he's on. I checked it today. Blue checked it, everything. Go hit him up, follow him, connect with him, man. Be like, hey, look, you know, I'm staying to it. I enjoyed the podcast. Let them know that you dig. And if you want to keep seeing influencers like we have on the day, amazing leaders, athletes, people that are doing great things, you know what you got to do. YouTube, one word, 4 letters, CVMK. If you can't do that, then I'm going to just keep praying for you. It is what it is. _show on the ground, CVMK Global. TikTok, CVMK Global, Snapchat, CVMK Global. You get the gist of it. CVMK Global, guys. Wherever the platform is, I'm probably there in some way, shape, or form. www.cvmk Global. And until .store. I'm sorry, I almost said something else. .store. And it's guys.
If you think exercise alone got me looking like this, well, think again. CVMK Global Super Thick got me right. I'm obsessed, and yeah, I won't stop talking about it because it helped me grow in all the right places. Its creatine provides a fast and reliable way to increase your power, size, and shape, and it's scientifically proven to help you reach your physical goals in a safe, controlled manner. So if you want to increase muscle size, pump, and thickness in your muscle groups, you need Super Thick.